Yo, YouTube, what's up? Tay Takes tapping back in. Right, we're talking more NFL talk. Today we're talking the top quarterbacks in the league. Who deserve to be there, who don't. You know what I'm saying? Who working their way up the list, who moving down the list, who getting, you know what I'm saying, who getting older and we expect them to be out the door. Who show up when it's prime time, who only show up when they playing against scrubs, right? That's what we talking about today. I'm gonna do a quick video on the top 10 quarterbacks, right? Is according to the top execs in the league, the top 50 execs in the league. We talking about owners, general managers, coaches, and people who just in the higher roles in the NFL as far as when it comes to the guys that's in the offices, right? To me, the list is not too much controversial. You know what I'm saying? It's in tiers. So I think that's better. I think it's better when you put it in the tiers rather than the rankings because you put them all in, like, when you put them in the tiers, at least you know the guys are in, like, a certain level. Like, all right, this guy is an elite, this guy is an elite, this guy is an elite. All right, this guy is great, this guy is great, this guy is good. You know what I'm saying? You're in a good category, you're in a great category, you're in the, top of the food chain category. And it just kind of breaks it up a little bit better, and it's easier to break down than just ranking them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they make it much more controversial, which is not a bad thing when it comes down to like recording videos and shit. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I think it's a little bit better, right? So the top 10 quarterbacks, right? According to the top 50 execs in the league, they got Lamar. I'm looking at the list right now. They got Lamar Jackson basically ranked at number 10. He falls into the tier 2 category, but it puts him in the top 10 because they got six guys in the top tier, and then you got eight in the tier 2. You know what I mean? And Lamar Jackson is in that 10th spot because they still got him ranked top, top to bottom, as if, who's the best to, who's not as great, right? And at the bottom of, or he's not in the bottom of the list. Lamar Jackson is like in the middle of the list, but he ended up being the number 10 guy. And if you ask me, I think he is the number 10 guy. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you got Kyler Murray that's sitting in like the 15th spot or the 13th spot, right? If you ask me, I'd take Kyler Murray over Lamar Jackson just because he's almost just as dynamic with his feet, right? Lamar Jackson is here. The rest of the league is here, right? Lamar Jackson is here. The rest of the league is here. Kyler Murray is here. When it comes down to making plays with your feet, Kyler Murray is number 2 in the league at doing so, and he's phenomenal at it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is one of a kind. We've never seen anything like that, right? But Kyler Murray is just as good, right? Or not, a notch below. Let's say a notch below. But he has a tremendous arm for such a small. I'm not even going to listen. He has a tremendous arm. Period. Kyler Murray has a tremendous arm. Period. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys like to throw in the fact that he's small, like, oh, he has a fucking cannon of an arm for a guy that's so small. No, he just has a cannon of an arm for a guy that's in the NFL, period. It doesn't matter if, he has a better arm than guys that's 6'3", 6'4", your prototypical type quarterbacks. He has a better arm than them. You know what I'm saying? His accuracy is pretty great. He has good accuracy. You understand what I'm saying? He sees the field well. He knows where he want to go. You know what I'm saying? Kyler Murray got it. You know what I'm saying? Especially once they surrounded him with better receivers like D-Hop. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they got Dak ranked over Kyler. They got Derek Carr ranked over Kyler. All right, I could take the Derek Carr thing. I think he's better than Derek Carr, but they got Derek Carr ranked over him as well. So that'll make Dak 11, Derek Carr 12, Kyler Murray 13, and then Matt Ryan 14. Only thing I disagree with is, like I said, Kyler Murray should probably be up there above Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson probably would have slipped into the 11th spot, right? And then out of all of those guys, I would probably have Dak at the bottom of the tier 2 list, just because Dak is really, he's not that bull to me. To keep it a buck with you, I'm not a big fan of Dak at all. I don't like, because he beat up on the bad teams, and then he's a bully. You understand what I'm saying? He's a fucking bully because he beat up on the bad teams, and then when he plays somebody who's supposed to be on that elite level or on his level, he's a totally different quarterback. He doesn't look the same. He doesn't perform the same, and the stats fall off by a fucking long shot. You know what I mean? So that is not that bull to me. You know what I'm saying? But what he do have, I gotta give it to him. He got the intangibles. You know what I'm saying? The intangibles is very important. He does have the intangibles. I do think if he has the perfect team around him, he can take him to a chip, but he's not better than Kyler. You know what I mean? Lamar, like I said, took me a long time to get around to this, but I wanted to get the honorable mentions in there as well, because, you know what I mean, these are very capable quarterbacks, and all of the quarterbacks that's on this top tier and tier 1 and tier 2 list, I believe all of these guys can win. They're capable of winning championship. These are guys that can walk into a place where, or organization, if they got all of the pieces and the only thing they need is a quarterback, if you add any of these quarterbacks, I believe you can win a championship, right? Boom. Now, let's get to it. Number 10, Lamar Jackson. I did a whole video on this one, so if you really want to see me get into the Lamar Jackson thing, I suggest you to go watch that video. But obviously, everybody obviously knows he's dynamic on his feet. Everybody knows he needs to work on his throwing. His accuracy is not there. He doesn't do a good job of putting the ball down the field. And if you ask me, I believe it's all up here for him. He just has to believe in himself. He has to stop watching what everybody else is saying, stop watching what everybody else is thinking, and just worry about yourself, lock in, work hard, which I do give him credit for. He does work hard, and he does put the time in to get better. But if you can do all of that, if your mind is not getting right, then you're never going to be able to transfer it from practice to the game. You know what I'm saying? But that's the whole point of doing the practices. The practice is what builds up the confidence. And then now you can, insert the confidence onto the field, because you put the work in, behind the scenes. But all of the times it doesn't translate. You can put the work in at practice all the time, and sometimes it just doesn't translate. If you ask me, I think Lamar is capable of being being able to take it to the next level when it comes to using his arm. But like I said, everybody for the most part is in agreement that he has to get his arm better, right? Boom. Let's move on to number 9, who is Deshaun Watson. Obviously, he just got a new contract, 200 and what? You know what I mean? That 230 deal, all guaranteed. So, they blew the market open with that one. Everybody looking at that like, damn, we trying to get that, that 230, 250, 5-year deal. Yeah, I mean, fully guaranteed. That's not going to happen for a lot of guys. The Browns was in a desperate situation, whereas though they know the chances of them acquiring a guy of this level, a top 10 quarterback, is slim to none unless they get him in the draft. They was able to get him through trade. So, yeah, man, it just was an opportunity they couldn't fucking let pass him. So, yeah, man, I salute them for, jumping on it, not and doing their own research, their own homework to see what type of guy Deshaun Watson was. And obviously they came to a conclusion that they don't think he is the guy that the media is trying to paint him to be, which is basically a guy who fucking puts his hands on women in a sexual manner, whereas though they're not in compliance, right? I don't believe the shit if you ask me, but I mean, that's the narrative on him. And Cleveland, they took a shot on him. And the last time we seen Deshaun Watson, he was definitely a top 5 quarterback, if not a top 3 quarterback. And a lot of these guys that's on the list now either wasn't in the league or they didn't emerge to the status that they are right now, because maybe they was only in their first or second year. But last time we seen Deshaun Watson, like I said, he was at least a top 5 quarterback. Like I said, if you ask me, he was a top 3 quarterback, and he was playing on a fucking horrible team in the sense of management. The management was garbage, and the offensive line was garbage. They had D-Hop. They let D-Hop go for some bullshit because of their management. And if you ask me, I expect him to be a couple notches higher next year, strictly off of what he's going to be able to do once he steps back onto the field. I think it'll probably take him a game or 2, maybe 3 at the most, to get back into, back acclimated to NFL and NFL speed and just everything, that they got going on. I'm pretty sure that he's still in shape, but there's no way to, simulate an NFL game. So I expect big things from Deshaun Watson, and I'm sure I'm pretty positive he's going to bring it. And I don't expect to be upset by Cleveland. I think Cleveland may be moving in the right direction right now. You got a top quarterback, and that's what you need to start making some noise in this league nowadays, is a top 10 quarterback. You understand what I'm saying? And they got that, and they got other pieces as well. Basically, the only thing the management got to do is not fuck this up. You understand what I'm saying? If management don't fuck it up, then they're in good shape, and they might be able to capitalize and go all the way and win the Super Bowl, right? Next, you got Russell Wilson, number 8 on the list, right? Russell, he haven't really been performing to the level that we expect over like the past 3 years. They haven't been as good as we would like them. He hasn't been as good as we would like him to be, right? He's pretty much blaming the management, coaching, the decisions that they're making up top, and management said, "Fuck it. Listen, if you want to get out, fuck it. Go ahead and bounce, man, because you ain't been performing to the level we need you to perform at anyway. So we ain't trying to." We ain't trying to pay you the mega bucks like they paying these young boys, because you ain't giving us that, right? I expect Russell to be a better quarterback than he was last year. I expect him to be a better quarterback than he was the year before that. Definitely, obviously, he has to stay healthy. But if you ask me, he's in a much better position going to the Denver Broncos. So I expect bigger things out of him. Same thing like with Deshaun Watson. These guys can both take a couple more ticks up in the rankings if they execute like this next guy that I'm about to go into at number 8, Matthew Stafford. He got out of that disastrous situation in Detroit and was able to go to LA and shine like a star, like he was supposed to in LA. Everybody in the league though, anybody who has the eye for football, Matt Stafford, he's been a beast. You understand what I'm saying? He take high risks. He does. He doesn't always, play by the rules in the sense of just being a quarterback who just takes what they give you. Sometimes he pushes the envelope. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's not so much of a fucking good thing. But at the end of the day, he did prove to us is if you put enough talent around him, great talent, he can go win you a Super Bowl, and he was able to do that last year. Mad respect to Matthew Stafford. He's at the top of the tier 2 list. I think he should be in tier 1. Maybe he'll be at the bottom. It's the same position at the number 7 guy, right? He'll still be in the same position at the number 7 guy, but he should just be a tier 1 quarterback. Look, he just won a quarterback. He just won a chip for these guys last year. He should be a tier 1 quarterback, right? Next on the list, bottom of tier 2 or bottom of tier 1, you got Justin Herbert. Hold on.